Robert Deniro in a hockey mask, Val Kilmer in a hockey mask, and Al Pacino getting very angry at his TV set. I'm Peter Bielagus, and this is Money in the Movies. Hello and welcome to Money in the Movies, a show where we review films based on their financial accuracy. Today's movie is the Los Angeles crime saga Heat, directed by Michael Mann and starring Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, Ashley Judd, Jon Voight, and the guy from the Allstate commercials, Dennis Haysbert.
You know I'm cool.
Yeah, I know you're cool. Robert De Niro heads a gang of professional bank robbers.
The bank is worth the risk.
While Al Pacino is the restless robbery-homicide detective determined to stop him.
Brother, you are going down.
In the movie, De Niro and his crew try to drill into a vault, and they even hit an armored car. Get it? They hit an armored car. See, they hit. Moving on. The big score, however, is a bank. De Niro meets with one of his underworld contacts who tells him,
It's a bank.
I just said it was a bank.
It depots cash on Thursday for distribution to all the other branches.
So this one bank is the cash depot for all the other bank branches. And the reason this bank is the depot for cash is...
Cover Friday payroll checks. So on Thursdays, the command branch has got a full whack.
Now what this dude is telling De Niro is, look bro, if you rob this specific bank branch on this specific day, the bank will have more cash than usual. Sure enough, De Niro and his gang of no-goodniks do rob that specific bank on that specific day, and the cash is there. Now, the robbery doesn't go so well, but the film does bring up an interesting point. Why does that particular bank have more cash on that particular day? The answer is because the United States, like many nations, uses a fractional reserve banking system. A fractional reserve banking system is simple. It's a financial system that allows banks to keep only a fraction of actual cash reserves in the bank. Think about it. Most of the time, you are not buying stuff with cash. You are using a credit card or a debit card or an app or your phone itself. You are using digital money. While you are walking around swiping your cards and tapping your phone, banks are electronically exchanging that money in the background. If you swipe your Bank of America debit card at a store to buy something for $10, Bank of America electronically sends $10 to the bank that store uses for its business. Let's imagine that bank is Wells Fargo. No actual cash changes hands, but both banks understand and agree that Bank of America now has 10 fewer dollars in one of its customer accounts, and Wells Fargo has 10 more dollars in one of its customer accounts. So banks are storing your money electronically by keeping records of all your transactions. But because we use a fractional reserve banking system, banks don't need to also store that electronic money as cash. They are required to store only a fraction of the money they hold electronically. The percentage of actual cash that a bank is required to store is called the cash reserve ratio, and it is typically set by the country's central bank. In the United States, that central bank is the Federal Reserve. In the United States, that cash reserve ratio floats around 10%, but that number can change. In the film, Robert De Niro and his gang of no-goodniks are going to rob the bank on a Thursday because that bank is expecting a large number of people to deposit their payroll checks on Friday. When a bank has more electronic deposits, it must also increase the amount of cash it has in the vault. Since the bank in the movie is anticipating that people are going to deposit their payroll checks and some people will withdraw cash, the bank needs enough cash in reserve to meet that demand. By the way, if a bank needs more cash to meet their reserve requirements, where do they get this cash? Well, the short answer is several places, but normally they get it from another one of their branches, another competing bank, or in the United States, from one of the Federal Reserve banks. The point is, cash is always moving around from bank to bank. That's why you see all of these armored cars driving around. Well, I mean, they usually get there. The point is, The film is accurate in its portrayal of fractional reserve banking, so I'm going to give it 3 out of $3 signs. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, and please, if you have a movie that you would like to review, let me know in the comments below. I'm Peter Bielagus, and this is Money in the Movies.